Bonsoir, madame, monsieur. Bienvenue sur Afrique Today, dans l'émission de Équipe du dimanche présentée par Coach Fofo. Oui, nous avons la chance et l'aimabilité de recevoir ce soir une grande championne. Elle s'appelle du nom de Nicole Hercules, qui est le CEO de NIH Consulting. Elle est aussi le fondateur de Rochester City League et elle est aussi le co-chair de Black United Soccer Coach. Nicole Hercules, welcome to our show, Équipe du Dimanche.
Thank you so much for having me, Fofo. I've been looking forward to meeting with you. You know, I have a great deal of respect for you and everything that you do.
Thank you. Nicole, we know you have, your shoulder is bigger. You do so many stuff and then no man can do or accomplish. Can you present yourself to our community?
Sure, absolutely. I am the chair of the Black Soccer Coaches Association with the United Soccer Coaches. I also have a program in Rochester called the Rochester City Soccer League, where I'm the president. I also have a national organization called NMH Consulting, where we provide inner-city programs across the country and with some Caribbean federations. So for me, the importance of what my work is to work with underrepresented or underserved populations and making sure that we're bridging the gap to opportunities, to access resources, and anything that's going to allow Black children, coaches, and administrators to thrive in life and in our sport.
Nicole, we are very humble and happy to have you in our show we call Équipe du Dimanche. We will talk about soccer, but people who know the game, who play the game, can talk a little bit about your soccer career?
Sure. Yeah, I played at the University of Albany. Actually, let me go even further back. I started playing at 10. You know, I played basketball, I ran track, I played volleyball, I played all sports. But I fell in love with soccer at 10 years old, you know, playing in my backyard with the neighbors. And then I signed up for a soccer league, and it was history from then. You know, I played on some premier teams. I got a full Division I scholarship to actually play for Kalakeni Banda, who's from Malawi. At University of Albany, I played professionally in Germany for a year. Then I came back home and played for the Rochester Rhinos, and then started my career in Rochester in soccer and in human services.
We see on our community today so many folks, Black, who empower the community, who they're not just full their pockets, but they are giving back to the community. Mm-hmm. Can we talk about a little bit the league you funded or you created on the Rochester City?
Of course, yeah. That league started because, you know, there was a league called Flower City Soccer when I was actually still in high school, and I would come and help out from time to time. And I remember them asking me as a Black woman to come in so that kids can see someone who looked like them, to do just a little course, a little clinic. And I remember coming back and working with some of the kids. And when I was done, I did a little bit of a skill session where I gave the kids 2 minutes to try to take the ball off of my foot, because I was trying to, you know, I didn't know how to coach at that moment, but I was trying to show these kids the importance of doing just ball control and cover skills and things like that, and just working at your craft. And I remember after 2 minutes, they couldn't take the ball off of my foot. And one of the little girls looked at me and she asked me where I was from. And that bothered me a lot, because she was saying that because in her mind, Black people did not play the sport of soccer. So she didn't think I could have been from America, because in her mind, the game of soccer wasn't for her. So back in my head, I went back as a college student and said, as soon as I can, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to create programs so that any Black child across this country or across the globe will never, ever think that there's something that is not for them. Everything is for them. You know, as long as we provide the right children, they can do everything, they can thrive. We just have to be willing to kind of do that work. And I know, Fofo, you know all about that. I mean, my gosh, the work you do here and then sending things over internationally. I'm humbled to be on your show because I respect and value everything you do. You know, as the chair, I talk to a lot of people, and we have some people who have a pure heart, but we also have some people who are opportunists and they don't care about the community. So it's always amazing for me to sit down with someone like yourself who does it for the right reasons. You're so impactful in the lives of youth. You're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it because you're the heart of God in you to do the right things. And I'm so humbled by the work that you do, because we need more people like you across the globe to get this work done and to help lift up our people. So thank you.
Oui, madame, mademoiselle, oui, ce soir, nous sommes sur l'antenne de l'équipe du dimanche sur Afrique Today. Afrique Today, où vous nous recevez sur les plateformes YouTube, Facebook, Twitter et Instagram, sur Roku et spécial Amazon 5, où nous présentons tous les dimanches notre émission, l'équipe du dimanche présentée par Coach Fofo. Et ce soir, nous avons la chance d'avoir dans notre studio un nom très, très riche en personne de Nicole Hercules, qui est une femme de carrière, qui est une femme de football, qui fait beaucoup pour sa communauté et qui veut aussi rassembler la communauté noire pour développer aussi le football dans notre communauté. Nicole, we've been talking about the Black coaching organization over 3 years. We've been talking about, and can you tell me today where we are for that kind of organization to have a way to impact the Black soccer or our community?
Yeah, I tell you, right now is a great time because, all of us have known that racism exists. We've known that there's institutional racism, that there's things that have been obstacles and challenges to the Black coach, to the Black player, to the Black community. And we've been fighting that forever, going back to Lincoln Phillips, so I know you know Fofo. So this work isn't new, but there are people now who are aware of the challenges that we have, and they're willing to kind of find ways to help. So the conversations that I've had have been from the top of soccer internationally down to youth soccer, and finding pathways for our coaches to have direct opportunities. We'll definitely start collecting CVs and getting information so that we can help our coaches in that pathway. If they want opportunities at the highest level, we'll be able to provide some of those, but also recognizing that it's so important for us to really use this time to make sure that from the top down, everyone understands that there needs to be a no racism, no tolerance at every level, from youth all the way up to FIFA. And there needs to be strictly punished, and it needs to be consistent across all landscapes, because I'll tell you what, coaches have access to players. You have access to players at a young age, and who better than to teach kids what is right and wrong and how to be good and kind to each other than coaches. So we have a unique opportunity now where people are coming to us looking for direction. I'm very busy because of it, so I get calls all day from everybody that you can think of. So it's a great time, I'll just say that. I'm in talks with many people about things that can be done better, and especially about creating opportunities and bridging some gaps to our coaches and players. It's going to come back to our community. So I'm excited for the opportunities that we have, making sure that people understand the value of our coaches, investing in our communities, investing in our coaches, and us together as Black coaches investing in each other, promoting each other, supporting each other, standing together. We've created a professional development course that we told United Soccer coaches that we're keeping for our community, because there is a gap that needs to be filled, and we have to make sure that before we pass this over for everyone, that we are catching our coaches up, that everyone who's in our community feels like they can be successful in whatever landscape they want to be in within the soccer game, whether it's, as a coach, a referee, an administrator. If you want to be a board member, we are going to give you the tools to succeed. And we have to be vulnerable enough with each other to say, hey, I have some places where I need to improve. But at the end of the day, I want to see every single person who's in this community having the opportunity to be successful and to meet their goals. And we will create whatever it is that we need to do that. And it's a phenomenal time because we have pretty much everyone reaching out to us to figure out ways that they can help. And we're going to be at the lead of that conversation. And it's a great time for us right now. And by next year, we're going to see a lot of good things for our community.
Does that mean we are trying to implement a business model on a Black coaching community soccer?
There are some communities right now that are in talks of it. So I know of at least 2 that are looking to put models together for what that could potentially look like. So there's subcommittees right now that are looking for models for how we pool our resources, whether it's in tournaments or different. Actually more than 2 communities. There's at least 3 or 4 actually that I'm thinking at the top of my head that are looking to collaborate that way, that are looking to start thinking about. Many coaches, both I'll put you through, you're doing many coaches out there that are making millions of dollars off of it. It's a business, and we just didn't come from that mentality. Our mentality is to teach, is to empower our community, is to make sure that we're seeing people who are thriving, but other people are looking to just make a profit. So we just want to make sure that our coaches are also able to, socially and economically thrive as well. So we're looking at ways that we can make sure that on the business side, business development models are looking to be created so that we're able to address the game of soccer, and not only just the sport of soccer. And you know this better than anyone because you're similar to me, where our soccer programs aren't just focused on soccer. You know, we have academic that are attached to it. We have college advisement. Sometimes there's career development. We're looking at the things that will impact our community and allow kids who are underserved to have everything that they need to be successful. So it's not just creating a quality soccer program. It's also creating an opportunity for our kids who may not have everything that everyone else has. We will make up that gap to make sure that our kids are not lacking in any area, that we're taking care of our community and we're lifting each other up, and we won't stop at anything other than making sure that that happens across the globe.
As Nicole, as we move up, you know me very well. I play the game. I know the game. I was almost 20 years and professional in Europe. But what we have, the concept of what we have in Europe, and when I came to this country, is something always throwing in my mind. Can we talk about a little bit the pay to play? You know what I'm talking about, pay to play.
Yeah.
And this is killing our neighbor, our community. And it is something, if I have money, believe me, you know what I can do for that.
Yeah.
So is there any way we can talk about the pay to play system?
Well, I'll tell you what, it hurts our communities, right? It kind of creates the situation where many of our kids are priced out of the sport. So a lot of our programs are the only opportunity that our kids have to play. And it's a conversation about United Soccer Coaches that I have. We have a call this week for the urban soccer program where, you know, they're going into inner cities and doing some coaching training. And I said to them, I was like, I don't want to be a part of any of these general soccer programs where we're just going into inner cities to take a picture and say that we were there. If it's not going to have a substantial and long-term effect on the livelihood of people in the communities who may be struggling, I don't want a part in it. So what I will say to that is the pay-to-play method is not where the best players are at. You're going to get some very good players, of course, because great players are everywhere. But if you think about the best players across the world, there's a different grit to them. It's survival. It's life and death. You know, when I started my league, it was because the year before it got to a point where I couldn't wait any longer. We had 4 kids who were murdered. And I knew that if we were able to create a soccer environment where kids were safe, where we gave kids everything that they needed to be successful in life, that it would save their life. So many of our kids, when they're playing as a way to get out of adverse situations. So there's a different type of competition that's going on that myself in my little suburban world, as much as I was a good soccer player, I'll never be the player that many of my players are because they're playing from a different place. You know, so pay to play, and that way, you know, that we lose that fire that many of the international teams have, because you have kids who have struggled and they literally use this game to lift up their families. And I'll tell you this, I call it stay and play more than pay to play, because we create opportunities for all kids to play the game. And especially when they're not in safe environments, I call it the stay and play. You don't have to have money. You know, we have corporate sponsors who take care of a lot of the expenses. Our program's free of charge. So our concern more is just having kids stay with us, and from the time they start playing with us at 4 or 5, all the way up until they graduate college. And many of them come back to help because it was that influential in their life. So we want it to be a stay-to-play program. And here's the other thing, Fofo, that we're looking for, and you talked about it with coaches coming together, is that with the numbers that we have, with over 1,000 coaches and growing, you know, I was on a call with the African Coaches League earlier today. They're joining. The Canadian coaches have been organizing. They'll be joining. We have an LA call of coaches who are getting involved. So we're growing immensely. We are strong together. And the most important thing that I need to get across to all coaches is that we have to work together. We have to invest in each other. And as soon as we start looking at corporate sponsorship, then I'll be able to make sure that we're putting money right back into our program, so that our programs like yourself, where you're just doing this stuff from the kindness of your heart, just the goodness, you know, your good soul and spirit, and kind of wanting to do a good work in this world, that we're able to make sure that we're supporting your work and lifting you up. And many of the programs across the globe who are doing similar things, you know, it keeps me fired up to kind of go after some of that stuff so that we can look after each other.
Oui, madame, monsieur, oui, nous sommes sur Afrique Today, votre TV online, où nous sommes dans l'émission de Équipe du dimanche présentée par Coach Fofo. Ce soir, comme je le redis, nous avons la chance d'avoir une très belle dame qui connaît le football, qui connaît le sport, et qui vient nous en parler de tous ces déboires, de tous ces problèmes que nous avons dans notre communauté, et comment aussi réunir la communauté noire autour du ballon rond. Nicole, we've been talking about since last year a project with NIAM, to come to Silver Spring, Maryland,
Mhm.
and support our community. And we know COVID-19 is coming today to destroy everything.
Mhm.
Do you have anything to talk about how we can manage or how COVID is impacting all our projects?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think even just from this, we've learned to become Zoom experts. Everything's virtual right now. So I've been doing so many webinars and seminars right now that that's kind of the direction of things. And watch some of the virtual soccer skills training. So that's kind of where we are right now, is just learning how we can reach our kids through social media, through mass communication. And I don't know how it is for you guys. I think some of you guys have gone back to play, but I still don't have all the specifics on what it's going to be when we return, and we're supposed to return next month. So I unfortunately will tell my kids we probably won't have a soccer league, but we'll just do some small individual training with under 25, just keep our kids sharp. But COVID has definitely made things interesting. But I will say this, is I'm proud of the coaching community because no one sat by idly and waiting for it to pass, not knowing what to do. I think everyone used the time to just get better, to learn the new ways, the new nuances with technology. And it's a good thing. But we all are kind of waiting to see what's happening. I think we're all in the same boat, from college coaches who are trying to figure out if they're going to have a season and what's going to happen. I know I have a kid who's going to Penn State, and she has to leave early because she has to go through 2 weeks of quarantine before they can even start. So it's changing a lot of things. And who knows how that's going to impact high school soccer and anything else. So we're all going to learn together.
Yeah. Also, when we go to end to this show, I would like to also to ask you a question about what's going on around the country this moment. You are black, I'm a black. We always have a decent income from somewhere, but how can we raise up the racial issue in this country? And can you talk about it a little bit? How can we organize ourselves through sports, through education, through soccer? Because soccer is a war sport who can bring people together.
Absolutely. And we're seeing that. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen so many active members in my life. We had a call yesterday with, I think the call before had 80 coaches. Yesterday was 60 coaches. I have calls all week. And what I want to do is to be able to have one call and see how many of our coaches across the globe we can get on one call, so that we can see how strong we are, so we can see what our numbers are, so that we can see that we're all fighting the same challenges. And I will say this, gone are the days where we're sitting here to appease those who are in power. Those days are gone. There are truth and realities to what the experience is to be black in this country and across the globe. And we have to be very direct and factual with the numbers and specifics of what it is the black experience has been, how we've been almost oppressed, or in some ways just left out. I hear a lot about diversity and inclusion. I would say for blacks, it's diversity and exclusion, and those things need to be addressed. And we are going to be very clear and direct with everyone who's coming to me. I'm being very honest. We have many people who are coming in as allies who think that they can take over rather than take apart. That's not appropriate, nor is it acceptable. If anyone wants to help who's from a different race, you have to make sure that you're asking questions and listening, and then following the lead of the black community as is needed. So there's a lot of things that we have to discuss, and different complexities that are happening because of the fact that many people are kind of confronted with the fact that they have to be honest with what's happened to blacks in this country. So they're good things, but we also have to make sure that as the black community that we're staying empowered, that we're recognizing our value and our strength, and that we're attacking this so that we will end racism, end institutional structures, and also to take care of some of the implicit bias. We have to address all those things to make it better for the next generation of kids of all races, so that no one has to deal with this anymore.
And I know next year, the Black United Coach is organizing, their convention, and next year going to be in California. Is there anything you guys ready or start working on it right now? Can we know a little bit about it?
Of course, yeah. I mean, surprisingly, it seems like it's going to happen. I think a couple of weeks ago, I wasn't sure if it was going to happen, but we have all the Anaheim stuff that's going on. We, as a Black soccer coaches group, we're recruiting a lot of coaches out west. So we definitely want the coaches from the east, to meet the coaches out west who are they've been chomping at the bit to get involved with us. So there's been over 125 coaches recruited in that area. I think between Kadani McAlpin, who's the USC coach, and Mike Asphalt, who's out there. So we're growing pretty quickly. So I think the convention's going to be fun for all of us to get together, meet some new people, always catch up with old people. Because I'll tell you what, there's nothing better than our Black soccer community. We are tight-knit, we are supportive, we have each other's back, and it's only going to get better. So I'm looking forward to Anaheim so we can continue to kind of address some of our needs, make sure that we see some of our coaches doing a lot of the sessions. You know, we want to see a lot of black faces, sessions, doing panels. So we're going to get a bunch of our people out there, you know, showing their stuff and teaching the world how this game is to be played.
Nicole, how do you see the future of our Black coaches and also soccer in our community? What's the future we have?
It's a great future. I see a future where we have Black-owned programs that are thriving and are economically supported, and where we have capital investments that are being made. I see our players who are in nurturing environments with coaches who play. I see coaches who are going to have a pipeline to coaching opportunities because we have quality coaches who fit the criteria. But right now, the only thing that's keeping some of those coaches away is just the lack of information from some of the top programs, and we have those relationships now. So I see nothing but good things that are going to come. You know, we're hard workers, we're intelligent, we're phenomenal at what we do. So only the best. And if we can't get in the system, we're going to make a system ourselves. So there's only great things ahead for us.
And the last one, we are getting the end of this event tonight, and what we on the Afrique Today, especially in the emission of Equipe du Dimanche, who we have Nicole Hercules, who came all the way from New York, Rochester, to be my guest. And we talk a lot about soccer. We talk about what's going on right now, and then we talk about the future, and then we talk about how can we bring together our Black community, especially those who love the game, who play the game, to change something, to bring the dynamism in our community. So we don't lead especially by the money, but we live by the compassion and the love to the next generation who come in, so we can give them something positive. Nicole, I would like to have your last word for this event we have today together. Tell me something who can let me go to sleep tonight very well.
I will say this, Fofo. It has been an absolute honor and a joy to be on your show. The work that you do is some of the work that inspires me to go after things that our community needs. So I often have your Facebook page on my news feed. So just keep doing the work that you're doing, and so many of the other coaches are doing, because it's you guys who make me want to fight at the top level to make things happen, because I see you guys fighting where you're at for our people, for our community, and we're going to fight together. So let's continue fighting. We'll keep fighting this.
And then what is the goal? The goal for NHM for the future? Because we know it's something you love to do. What is a bright future for that organization or the company you'll be working with?
Is to continue to make sure that we're representing the underrepresented and that we're serving the underserved. As our program goes into communities across the country and across the globe, what I need to see is that people who aren't seen are seen, and people who are underserved will be served. That's my goal, is everywhere we go is that we're making things better. That's just that simple. You know, that people who are struggling won't struggle, is that if anyone isn't advancing, that they'll advance. That's going to be a sign to me that we're doing all the work that we need to do.
Is there any way we can have you? Probably we know this year is already gone. Is there any way we can schedule something from next year, if we all everything go very well about COVID?
Of course. Well, my sister lives in the DC area, so I really wanted to come out to your event, but unfortunately with COVID I wasn't able to make it. But I can assure you that I will be out. I'm there. That's like my second home. So you will see me as soon as I may be there, and I think July 4th I'll actually be in the area. We probably won't be able to meet up at that point, but next year definitely you'll see me at some point.
But Nicole, thank you to have in our show. We are very glad to have you today, and I wish you a good luck for all you have been doing, for all your projects, and we'll see you soon. Oui, madame, mademoiselle, monsieur, nous arrivons à la fin de cette édition de l'équipe du dimanche présentée par Coach Fofo, suivi sur Afrique Today. Afrique Today, the best of the digital, nous avons dans le Maryland de DMV. Et ce soir, nous avons la chance d'avoir Nicole Hercules, qui est le founder de Rochester League sur Rochester, New York, qui est aussi quelqu'un qui est dans notre communauté, qui vient chaque fois nous parler, nous dire des choses comment nous réunir la communauté noire au ballon, comment aussi involver la jeunesse dans ce sport qui est roi. C'est elle qui est venue nous parler ce soir. C'est elle qui est venue nous chanter. Elle nous dit des boxeurs. Merci beaucoup pour ceux qui nous avaient suivis et à la prochaine. Et cette émission est présentée tous les dimanches à 4h30 sur africtoday.com. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Nicole. And I'll see you soon.
Take care. Thank you so much, Fofo.
I hope you learn soon French.